I don't know if y'all are interested. I just gonna show you what I've been working on out here in my yard. This is my burn barrels. They used to be over here in this spot. I had to clean all this area out right here because it was full of, you know, just vines and little trees and just all kinds of shrub and just rocks, just a mess. So I cleaned all that out of there and raked it out real good, evened out the dirt because it was kind of hilly, and I moved these cans over here because they were just kind of in the middle of the yard. See, my wife, I let her use the rider lawnmower when we mowed this yard, and I usually use the weed eater, and Jeremy uses the push mower. But she's having to go around a lot of stuff to mow, so it's better at being over here anyway, just kind of out of the way. All these little logs I've been cutting from trees that we've had to cut out of the yard. I call it my little ecological, I don't know. It's a little thing where I don't have a fireplace, but I put it there for like lizards and stuff. Just stuff to live in. Just don't know the word. My wife's like, what are you keeping those logs for? It's an ecological, is that the word? No. Thing, you know, just, I mean, why burn it all? I have a little room to, you know, just kind of stack things. I'm not gonna have that many anyway. But see this right here, this whole part, see that big tree right there, and then all the way across there's a little brick. See this little brick edging right here? It goes all the way across. And then there's this little pole right here. And then I think it went all the way down this way, even with that basketball hoop and across. This used to be a garden out here some years ago. For some of you people that don't know, this house we acquired a little over a year ago. It was my brother-in-law's, my wife's brother, passed away from cancer, and he gave this house and property to her. So we moved in here from a little house. So this whole yard right out here, from right here all the way back to that fence, all the way across over there, this was a forest back here. And I'm still not even done cutting out stuff to make this yard a nice yard. And over there across that fence right there, there is like 3 to 4 foot of brush that's standing between us and the fence line back there. I've been working on that a little bit. We don't want to cut it all out because we want a little privacy, but there's just been a lot to do in this yard. This is my burn pile out here. My burn, what do you call it? I've made this little thing right here with rocks and some brick out of stuff I pulled out of the yard. I mean, it's nothing fancy, you know. It's not nice enough to do a DIY for them on Pinterest or something, but it's my own, and it's not small. It's a pretty good size. It's just where I throw all my shrubs, and it's got a nice rock barrier, and I didn't know what else to do with the rocks anyway, so I built this little thing. But and then over here, the garden edging, this is some more brick. It's still downflow. I mean, it's not sticking up high enough that the mower could hit it or anything, so I think I'm just gonna leave it. But yesterday I was digging. You can see a hole right there. There's another edge of one right there I could pull out, but I think I'm just gonna fill it in with dirt and just even this out and plant some grass seed. I'm gonna leave that one. I'm probably gonna dig down a little bit more right in here to reveal the wall a little bit. But I'm cutting on this tree a little bit. See, this old tree here has been growing here for so many years. Back when they had the garden, it's got a fence and a post that it grew right around. That post is right in the center of the tree. So nothing I can do about that. And it's a decent tree. You can cut it down. It's got some dead stuff up in there. I can trim off what I can reach, but other than that, not a whole lot I can do with it. And there's the back edge of the other side, this concrete wall. But and there's another fence post, and it goes back in here. A few months ago, I was back here working on this fence. Oh, well, look at this guy. Well, look at this guy. Oh dear. Well, what are you doing in my yard? You're awfully dirty. I think I'll wash his shell off and see if he wants to live in my yard. I shall name him... Hey, get back. Back in, wasp. Do I look like something you're gonna land? Okay. Yeah, I had to give him a karate kick. Jeez. Okay. Back to Fred. This is Fred. All right, Fred. Gotta put you over here where I can wash you off later. He's dirty. I bet he's gonna, if I put him down over here, he's gonna take off. I'm gonna put him right here. There you go. Okay. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I'm about to see if he's there. Yeah. I worked on this edge, this area right here a few months ago. Cleared out, see that fence line back there is so grown up, it's gotten destroyed, and the people that used to live over there over time, or there was some construction guys back here doing something, but I think they might have bulldozed all that crap up against our fence. There's all kinds of junk over there, twigs and limbs and stuff, but still got to work over here a little bit. And this fence line back here I had to fix. It's unfortunately not like a nice chain link or anything. I didn't have the money in the budget to do anything like that, but I kind of hooked onto that little gate right there. I don't know why that gate's there, but hooked onto it. I hammered those posts into the ground the best I could, and got this fence back up because it was smashed down. It had so much vines growing on it that it was all smashed down with weight, and it looks like someone had like stepped on it to climb over into this yard some time ago. Over here in this area, it was kind of weird, because like right over here, here's the edge the garden edge. But over here I was finding hypodermic needles laying all over around in here. Little, you know, those little, like you take for, I don't know, blood sugar or something. The little orange, the orange back on it, or the orange tip covering on the needles. I was finding them over here. I probably found 5 or 6 of them. Kind of freaky. Didn't like finding those in the yard. That's a Chinese redbud right there. It's kind of an ugly tree. It's rotten back here. I think it's slowly dying. And last year when I was cutting back here, I started cutting into it and then changed my mind, but it's only got about a 2-inch cut in it. It leans really bad to the right. And there was a dead limb right up there, and I was trying to pull it out of the tree, and the dead limb was above, well, it was what was next to the a live limb that had some flowers on it. And as I was pulling it down, it cracked and came down a whole bushel. It's on the bottom of that pile there. A whole nice bush of those pretty red bud flowers came down out of it. Made me sad. But we're debating on whether just to cut the tree down, just cut the whole tree. But I don't know. It adds a nice color to the yard. It's the only one in the yard that I know of. But oh, excuse me. But I don't know. Just debating whether or not to cut it out. I could cut a lot of the dead limbs off and just leave it a crooked tree in the yard until it, you know, completely dies out or whatever. Still thinking about it. But yeah, this was a this right here was a pile of burned coal, or what? Not coal, but just soot and stuff from burning before. I raked it out and bagged it up. Over here, this right here in this area, this used to be the burn pile in his yard some years ago. And I mean, it was huge. And I've had to dig out a lot of stuff. There was rusty nails in there from stuff he burned, of like doors and cabinets and stuff. But I had to work a lot on this area, and I just recently planted some grass seed. You see the grass seed coming up all around in there. So this will fill out pretty nice. There's a dadgum mole damage in the pile, damage in the area. But yeah, I got a lot to do out here. I got these pieces of old plywood that are covering up access holes underneath the house. I want to take those off and make some kind of permanent doors instead of those pieces of plywood. And this deck back here, when he built this, he didn't put supports, didn't put cinder block supports up under it, so it's bowed really bad. I'm gonna have to redo that sometime soon. The front porch is what we're wanting to work on now. Excuse the mess, it's just kind of a work in progress. See the bowed boards. And back here, all this stuff was either right here in the way. I had to clear all that brush out right through there against the fence so I can put some pallets back there to lay some stuff on, get it off the ground. Shingles and some fence posts and stuff like that. This shed I gotta do. This shed her brother built some years ago, and the face of it is rotten. I gotta replace all that. The hinges on there are just old-fashioned flimsy door hinge type things that are just not built, not made for heavy doors. So that's gonna be something I'm not gonna look forward to doing. But and I gotta clean this up a little bit. Those cinder blocks there, they all are gonna get used pretty soon. And the people behind us, they're I don't know what you call them. They got a lot of old stuff back there. Just this is an old neighborhood. My wife was born and raised in this neighborhood, 50 some years ago, and her brothers lived, were from this neighborhood before her. But it didn't always used to look so run down and redneckish. It's just, but this is, I'm not a rich person. I don't have a high-paying job or anything. I just do what I can with what I do, with what I can. Yeah, it's a big old tree. But I'm not gonna work out here today. I got some stuff in the house to do, little projects. I was wore out yesterday. By the time I got done working out here, I was moving like a 80-some-year-old man by the time I was done, because I was working out here for hours trying to get this mowable. But I thank you for taking this walk along with me. I guess you could call this a vlog, I don't know. Maybe after I get done with that mess right there and some of this fence line back here and stuff, I'll make another one, just kind of show you how it looks after that, if you're interested. Some people don't want to watch stuff like this. Okay, yeah, there's our old house. I've been slowly working on. It's a. See that line right there? It's right there. This house used to only be that big. How do you do this? Anyway, this back part right here, this is an add-on. My brother-in-law did this all by himself. I helped a little bit in some areas, but that was so many years ago. But he did it all by himself, pretty much. 90% of it was just him doing it. So this right here, this part. He had a lot of carpentry skills, which I don't have really hardly any. I've had to really come up with my own because I don't have anybody else really to help me. Wayne, he's not physically able to, that's my older brother. He's not physically able to help me with a lot of things. My older brother, Larry, he's not in town very much. My youngest brother, Kerry, he passed away like six years ago, something. He used to help me a lot, but don't have him anymore. So I just have to rely on myself. Sounds pitiful, but I don't really have a lot of friends that come around. People that I used to work with, they're just acquaintances. Can't really call them friends much, but anyway, I'm gonna end it here, and again, I thank you for walking amongst the yard with me. Y'all have a good day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.